Donna Tartt tells you Bunny dies on the first page. She gives away the murder in the prologue. And yet people read the secret history breathless, turning pages like they don't know what's coming. Because they don't. The murder was never the point. This gets called a mystery, sometimes a thriller. It's neither. There's no detective, no investigation that matters, no clever unraveling. The question isn't who or how, or even really why. The question is, why do you want to be in that room? Why do you want to study Greek with Julian Morrow? Why do you keep reading about these terrible, pretentious people as if you're hoping they'll notice you too? Richard Pepin is our narrator, and he's a cipher. He lies to get into Julian's class. He lies about his background, his family, his money. He makes himself into whoever he needs to be to belong. Readers sometimes find him frustrating, too passive, too observational. But he's the point. He's us. We're all Richard. We've all stood at the edge of a group we desperately wanted entry to. A table in a dining hall, a party we weren't quite invited to. A circle of people who seemed to know something we didn't. The secret history is about that moment. That hunger. Tartt understood. It was more interesting than murder. The Greek students aren't likable. Henry is cold to the point of sociopathy. Francis is anxious and dependent. The twins are insular, almost alien. Bunny is boorish, the least intellectual of them, which is exactly why he has to die. And yet, you want to be at their table. You want Julian to look at you with approval. You want to read Plato in the original and discuss beauty as if it mattered. Tartt is doing something vicious here. She's making you complicit. The prose is lush, the details seductive, the country house, the snow falling in Vermont, the ancient languages and private jokes. You're being recruited the same way Richard was, and by the time they're pushing Bunny off that cliff, you understand. Not approve. Understand. The Bacchanal scene, where they kill a farmer in a Dionysian frenzy, is the structural heart of the book. It's ridiculous. Privileged students in New England trying to lose themselves in ancient ritual, stumbling into actual violence. But Tartt doesn't mock it. She takes it seriously, because the desire behind it is serious. The desire to transcend, to feel something beyond the ordinary, to touch the sacred. That's what Julian represents. Not just knowledge, but access. Access to a way of being that feels elevated, meaningful, chosen. His classroom isn't an education, it's an initiation. And initiations require sacrifice. Someone always has to be cast out. Bunny is cast out because he can't keep the secret, but also because he was never quite in. He was too crude, too American, too incapable of the self-seriousness the group required. His death isn't just about covering up a crime. It's about purity, about protecting the sacred space from someone who tracked in mud. The aftermath takes up half the book, and it's deliberately anticlimactic. The group doesn't get caught. There's no justice, no dramatic revelation. Instead, there's just disintegration. The thing that held them together was the exclusivity itself, and once that's punctured by guilt and paranoia, there's nothing left. They didn't like each other. They just wanted to be the kind of people who belonged together. Richard ends the book alone, teaching at a college in the suburbs, still thinking about them, still dreaming about Julian's classroom. The final image isn't resolution, it's longing. Decades later, he still wants back in. That's the horror of the book, not the murder. The fact that even after everything, the door closing behind him is the wound that won't heal.